Have you ever felt that split second where the world stops, your chest tightens, and you just know you are about to lose it? The pressure builds like a tea kettle screaming on a stove. Your heart hammers against your ribs, and the red mist of anger or the icy grip of panic starts to blind you. You tell yourself, don't say it, don't do it, but then you do. You snap, and in an instant, you trade your power for regret. Welcome back to INVICTUS X. We have all been there. It is the human condition. But what if I told you that this reaction isn't inevitable? What if I told you that the most powerful men in history, emperors who held the fate of the known world in their hands, faced pressure 10 times worse than your bad day at the office, yet they never flinched? They possessed a secret weapon. It wasn't a shield or a sword. It was a method, a mental fortress. Today, we aren't just talking about calming down. We're talking about the ancient, battle-tested art of Stoic mental warfare. By the end of this video, you won't just learn how to survive the storm, you will learn how to be the storm. There is a dangerous misconception in our modern society that some people are just born chill. We look at the CEO who smiles while the stock market crashes, or the firefighter who walks calmly into the flames, and we think, I'm just not wired like that. Stoicism teaches us that this is a lie. Calmness is not a talent, it is a muscle. Marcus Aurelius didn't live in a peaceful garden. He lived in a tent on the muddy frontiers of Germania, fighting a war he didn't start, while his people died of a plague and his generals betrayed him. He didn't survive because he was lucky. He survived because he trained. Stoicism is the gym for your resilience. It is the realization that while you cannot control the chaos of the world, the traffic, the rude boss, the unexpected bill, you have absolute terrifying dictatorship over one thing, your own mind.
Lesson 1. The Physiology of Power. Let's start with something you can change right now, this very second, your physiology. The mind and body are not two separate entities, they are a feedback loop. When you are defeated mentally, your body screams it. Shoulders slumped, eyes down, shallow breathing. This is the posture of a victim. The Stoics understood that to hack the mind, you must first command the body. Think of this as biological reverse engineering. When you stand up straight, pull your shoulders back and expose your chest, you aren't just looking confident to others, you are signaling safety to your primal brain. You are telling your nervous system, I am not hiding, I am ready. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and had a permanent limp, taught that freedom is self-mastery. That mastery starts with your spine. Wake up tomorrow and before you check your phone, before you worry about your to-do list, adopt the posture of a conqueror. It's impossible to feel defeated when you are standing like a victor. Lesson 2. The Sacred Pause. Here is a hard truth. Reactivity is weakness disguised as speed. We live in a culture that worships speed. Instant replies, instant gratification, instant outrage. But the Stoic knows that the most powerful move is often the pause. Between the stimulus, what happens to you, and the response, what you do, there is a space. In that space is your freedom. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are driving and someone cuts you off, nearly causing a wreck. The instinct is immediate. Slam the horn, scream, let the rage take over. That is the animal brain. The Stoic brain steps into that split-second gap and asks, does getting angry fix the car? Does screaming teach this stranger a lesson? No. All it does is ruin your peace. When you react, you are a puppet, and the world is pulling your strings. When you pause and act with intention, you cut the strings. You become the master. This isn't about being a doormat, it's about saving your energy for battles that actually matter. Lesson 3. The alchemy of hardship. Why is this happening to me? This is the question of the victim. The Stoic asks a different question. How can I use this? There's a concept in Stoicism called amor fati, a love of fate. It is the idea that not only should you accept what happens, but you should also love it, because it is the fuel for your journey. A fire does not say, "I wish this wood wasn't here." The fire consumes the wood and burns brighter because of it. Let me tell you a story. In 1914, Thomas Edison's massive factory complex in West Orange, New Jersey, caught fire. It was filled with chemicals and rubber, so the flames were green and yellow and uncontrollable. Edison was 67 years old. His life's work was burning to the ground. He didn't cry. He didn't curse God. He told his son, "Go get your mother and all her friends. They'll never see a fire like this again." The next morning, walking through the ashes of his empire, Edison said, "There is great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burned up. Thank God we can start anew." 3 weeks later, he invented the phonograph. That is Stoicism. It is the refusal to be crushed. When life throws a brick at you, you don't just dodge it, you pick it up and build a foundation. Pain that isn't transformed is just suffering. Pain that is transformed is progress. Lesson 4. The citadel of the mind. You might not be ruling an empire like Marcus Aurelius, but you have your own kingdom to manage. Maybe it's a team at work, a chaotic household, or just your own finances. The pressure is real. Marcus wrote to himself, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." He realized that the enemy wasn't the barbarian at the gate, it was the anxiety in his heart. If you want to be calm, you have to stop trying to control the ocean and start learning how to sail the ship. You must build an internal citadel. This is a place in your mind that external events cannot touch. Your boss can yell, the economy can crash, your partner can leave, but they cannot enter the citadel unless you open the gate. This isn't about being emotionless, it's about being invincible. It is looking at the chaos and saying, "This may hurt, but it will not break me." Lesson 5. Premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Most people live in a state of delusion, hoping things will stay perfect. When disaster strikes, they are shattered. The Stoic prepares. This is the practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It sounds dark, but it is actually liberating. Before you start a project, ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? Before you go on a trip, what if I lose my luggage? By visualizing the worst-case scenario, you strip it of its power. You realize, if I lose my job, I will survive. I have skills. I will find another. You move from fear to strategy. When the storm hits, you don't panic because you have already weathered it in your mind 1,000 times. You are the only person in the room who remains steady because you are the only one who saw it coming. Lesson 6. The biological override. When the pressure spikes, your biology betrays you. Cortisol floods your system, your vision tunnels, and your IQ literally drops. You become dumber when you are angry. You need a manual override. That override is your breath. The Stoics didn't have MRI machines, but they knew that controlling the breath controls the soul. Deep nasal breathing is the brake pedal for your nervous system. Next time you are in a heated argument, stop, close your mouth, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4. In those 12 seconds, you shift from the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, to the parasympathetic, rest and digest. You reclaim your brain. It is the ultimate power move to breathe deeply, while everyone else is hyperventilating. Lesson 7. The power of silence. We live in a noisy world. Everyone is shouting to be heard, tweeting their every thought, reacting to every headline. Silence is a weapon. Silence makes people uncomfortable, and in that discomfort, they reveal themselves. When you are silent, you are observing. You are gathering data. You are the chess master studying the board while your opponent frantically moves pieces around. Epictetus reminded us we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Use them in that ratio. When you are under pressure, the temptation is to explain yourself, to argue, to defend. Resist it. Let your silence do the heavy lifting. A person who can sit in silence during a crisis is a person who signals ultimate authority. Lesson 8. Calm is not weakness. Finally, do not confuse calmness with passivity. The sniper is calm. The surgeon is calm. The pilot landing a plane with an engine failure is calm. Are they weak? No, they are dangerous. They are effective. Calmness is the platform for decisive action. When you strip away the panic and the emotion, what is left is pure logic and execution. You become sharper. You see the solution that the frantic people miss. To be calm is to be a force of nature. It is the eye of the hurricane, still, yes, but surrounded by immense power.
We have walked through the armory of the Stoics. You now have the weapons, the posture of a victor, the gap between stimulus and response, the alchemy of turning pain into power, the breath of control, and the silence of the wise. But a weapon left on the rack is useless. Philosophy is not something you read, it is something you do. The next time the world tries to crush you, and it will, I want you to smile. I want you to remember this moment. I want you to plant your feet, take a deep breath, and whisper to yourself, I am ready. The storm does not come to destroy you. The storm comes to reveal who you really are. If you are ready to master your mind and stop being a slave to your emotions, I have a challenge for you. Scroll down right now and leave a comment. Tell me one habit you are going to change starting today. Are you going to pause before you yell? Are you going to fix your posture? Share it with us. Let's build a legion of the unshakable. And if you found value in this, if you felt that spark of strength, make sure you are subscribed to INVICTUS X. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. We are building something different here, a community where wisdom becomes strength and calm becomes power. Stay strong, stay stoic, and until next time, remain invictus.